Welcome to this episode of Face Islam, the program dealing with the subjects and topics that face Muslims every day. And we're going to talk about an Arabic word called Karamat. Oftentimes we hear people talking about miracles that happen in their lives, and very often too we experience things ourselves that help us be convinced that there must be a God, because how else could these things be happening? What is going on with that? Where is all this coming from? I make a phone call to somebody and I find, wow, the thing that they're telling me is something I was thinking about. They saying, hey, we were just about to call you on the same subject. Or maybe I'm looking for somebody, I haven't seen them in a long time, and I look up and they're walking down the street right in front of me. It's happened to me. I'm sure you've had experiences the same way. But are these miracles? Well, in the Arabic language, there are two categories. There's the mu'ajiza we spoke about in some other programs, but then there's karamat. Karamat is to have amazing things that take place, but they're not considered miracles. They're not associated with a prophet. They're not associated with any revelation. The reason that miracles come, and we're talking about miracles now, mu'ajiza, is to identify prophets. This is with all of the prophets who had revelation coming, so they could show, hey, I'm really doing this. It's coming from God. Here's a miracle. Some of the ones that we've talked about in the past, the Quran, for instance, is a big miracle. There's nothing like it, never has been, never will be again. Another is talking about the splitting of the moon. We mentioned this. We've talked about the Isra wa Miraj, the Prophet ﷺ ascended up into paradise. All of these things are the miracles with Prophet Muhammad. Miracles that we've spoken about with Jesus Christ. We've talked about that as well. And Moses had miracles. Solomon had miracles as well. All of them had these miracles to show that they were really prophets, and what they were telling the people to do, the people should do it for the benefits they get in this life, and definitely the benefits of the next life. But now let's come back to today's subject. We're talking about Karamat. Karamat is something that is a gift from Allah. These little small gifts that we receive, maybe sometimes on a daily or weekly basis, we see these things happening. Could be that I needed something, a key to something, and suddenly I find it. Or I needed a certain amount of money, and all of a sudden somebody popped up with exactly that same amount. How does that happen? What is behind these events? Well, just like the major miracles are from Almighty Allah, so are these so-called minor miracles, or karamat. It is He and He alone who causes these things to happen. In the case of a believer, it just reaffirms what you already believe. These are the benefits of being a Muslim. You see and you feel and you enjoy the karamat of Almighty Allah. As far as real miracles, though, there are magic things that happened. Some of that stuff is kind of overemphasized and staged. We do not believe that there are any prophets going to come after Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. No new revelation is going to come. There's not going to be any of this type of miracle. Some of the things that Muhammad prophesied, though, are still taking place. Those, in our estimation, are miracles in that he predicted it long before it happened, and we see it happening today. We've spoken about that as well, about the end times coming after the Arabs compete with each other, talking about poor Arab desert dwellers competing with each other to build tall buildings in the desert. Of course, we're seeing that going on now. Talking about the miracles that will take place, which we're seeing now too. He mentioned 1,400 years ago, people would talk to their hands. Well, where do you hold your cell phone, you know? And that our waist area would tell us things that are going on in our house when we're away, like maybe a pager or something like this. And that we would be communicating with the animals of the sea. And you know that they're trying to do that with dolphins right this minute. dolphins and whales. We're sending out these little beep, beep, beep signals to them. All of these things were unheard of 1,400 years ago, yet these are prophecies that we're seeing. We've also talked about zalzala, the earthquakes that were predicted. That's happening. So in that sense, yeah, we still see some of these miracles going on, but the miracles of our life, we actually call them Karamat. This is something maybe small, maybe big to you, but they're not indicating that you're a prophet or that somebody has got a new revelation or a new religion coming. I want to emphasize that because I don't want any of us to be misguided or misled by the devil, who would love to catch us off guard and make us think that we're somebody that we're not. And that is a very dangerous thing. So this is why we want to clarify that for the Muslims now, that if you're seeing things happening in your life, it doesn't mean that you're some kind of prophet or prophetess. It means that Allah is blessing you with some of the things that you like and you enjoy. So take benefit from it and then thank Allah for it and make dua for others to enjoy what you're enjoying. Be happy with it, but don't get overly involved. You know, that's Face Islam.